Good morning, dear children. So, today we are going to discuss the very important topic, that is genetics. It is a very important for the NEET. Okay. So, in general, what is genetics? If suppose the dog breed a dog, an elephant breed an elephant, if a human breed a human, because the heredity. Okay, why don't human breed dog? Why don't elephant breed horse? Because of the heredity. So what is heredity? Transmission of character from parents to the offspring is called heredity. So the offspring may be having small changes in them, so that is called variation. So these two things we will discuss in this chapter. So now let's discuss what is genetics. So the science of heredity, the genetic is the branch of biological science which deals with the mechanism of transmission of character from parents to the offspring. The term genetics was introduced by W. Batson in 1906. The four major subdisciplines of genetics are: first one, transmission genetics. It is otherwise called classical genetics. What is transmission genetics? It deals with the transmission of genes from parents to the offspring. It is called transmission genetics. Then molecular genetics. It deals with the structure and function of genes at molecular level in the DNA. Then population genetics. It deals with the heredity in group of individual for traits which is determined by few genes. Very few genes are determining here the characters. Okay, it is called population genetics. And quantitative genetics deals with the heredity of traits in a group of individual where the traits are governed by many genes simultaneously. So population genetics and quantitative genetics we will discuss in the upcoming sessions in detailed manner. Now, what is heredity and variation? Let's discuss. Heredity is the transmission of character from parents to the offspring. It is called heredity. What is variation? The organism belongs to the same natural population or species that shows a difference in the characteristic is called a variation. So I said now a small variation will be there in the offspring. Small changes will be there in the offspring when compared to the parents. So that changes are called variations. Variations of two types. One is a discontinuous variation. Another one is a continuous variation. Now let us discuss discontinuous variation. So within a population there are some characters which show a limited form of variation. Example, style length in primula, plant height of garden pea. These are the example for discontinuous variation. Could you able to look at this figure where primula style we were discussing now? Two different styles are noticed in primula plants. Could you see the styles difference? Yes or no? One style is long, another style is very short. Okay, so these are discontinuous variation. You could also see the pea plants or height of the pea plant. One is tall and another one is a dwarf. Okay, these are the example for the discontinuous variation. So in discontinuous variation, the characters are controlled by one or two major genes which may have two or more allelic forms. So generally the discontinuous variations which are controlled by one or two genes only. These variations are genetically determined by inheritance factor. So purely discontinuous variation is carried out by genetic factor and it is not governed by environmental factor. Okay, the individual produced by these variation show differences without any intermediate form between them, and there is no overlapping between the two phenotypes. So here the phenotypic character, we don't get the intermediate types. But if take for example male and female is there, okay, then blood groups we will discuss many example for discontinuous variation and continuous variation I will show later. Okay, and the phenotypic expression is unaffected by the environmental condition. Here the phenotype character is not controlled by the environment, it is purely of genetic factor. Discontinuous variations are controlled by purely of genetic factor. This is also called qualitative inheritance. Next one, continuous variation. This variation may be due to combining effect of environmental as well as genetic factors. Okay, so you have to compare the continuous and discontinuous variation. So discontinuous variation, it is controlled by genetic factor, purely of genetic factor, whereas continuous variation, it is combining effect of environmental as well as genetic factor. In a population, most of the character exhibit a complete degradation from one extreme to other without any break. Okay, without any break, the characters are transmitted from one extreme to the next extreme. It is called continuous variation. So inheritance of phenotype is determined by the combined effect of many genes or polygenes or environmental factors. So here the continuous variations are controlled by many genes, okay, and it is also controlled by environmental factor. These two factors are important for the continuous variations, and this is also known as quantitative inheritance. Take for example human height and skin color. Skin color is an example for the continuous variation. Let us discuss some other example for the continuous and discontinuous variation. You could see the pictures here. Discontinuous variation, eye color, gender, blood group, and ability to roll the tongue. These are the example for the discontinuous variation. Whereas continuous variation, height of human being and foot length of the human beings are vary from person to person. Human hand span, if you notice, it will also be vary from one person to another person. It is called continuous variations. Now coming to what are the importance of variations. Variation make some individual better fitted in the struggle for the existence. Okay, first point, it highlight us individual organism, they will be find better fitted for struggle for the existence. Okay, just like Charles Darwin, who has given that survival of fittest. The variation also helps here individual better fitted for the struggle for the existence, and they also help the individual to adapt themselves to changing environment. So variation helps to adapt themselves to the changing environment. Take for example, nowadays we have nowadays the scientists, they have changed the gene or character of plants, so that the plants will be able to adapt to the drought tolerant plants, salt tolerance plants. Okay, where there is a salt uh, environmental is there, in such conditions the plants can able to tolerate the salt. Where there is a drought condition, then the plants able to tolerate the environment of drought. Okay, so this is environmental changes. Then it also provides the genetic material for natural selection. Then variations allow breeder to improve better yield, quicker growth, increased resistance. Then they constitute a raw material for evolution. So variation helps to bring out the evolution. These are all the importance of variation. Next we will discuss what is Mendelism. Mendelism means the contributions of Mendel to genetic is called Mendelism. So Mendelian genetic concepts are basic to the modern genetics. It is a basic to the modern genetics. Therefore, the Mendel is called as a father of genetics. So who is called a father of genetics? It will be asked for 1 mark. Note it. The next one, biography of Mendel's, or a biography of Mendel. Gregor Johann Mendel unrevealed the mystery of heredity, and he was born on 22 July 1822 in Heinzendorf, Silesia in Austria. After school education, later he studied botany, physics, mathematics at the University of Vienna. So what is the name of the university that Mendel has studied? University of Vienna. What are the subjects that he studied? Botany, physics, mathematics. Okay, these are the some of the simple questions which will be asked from one words. He then entered the monastery of St. Thomas Brunn in Austria and continued his interest in plant hybridization. So you have to know what is plant hybridization. Plant hybridization means, so he used to cross the plants. So cross fertilization, as a result new plants will be produced. It is called plant hybridization, production of new plants by cross fertilization. It is called plant hybridization. In 1849, Mendel got a temporary position in school as a teacher, and he did experiment with the pea plants in his garden. Okay, so he got a temporary position in schools as a teacher, as well as he did his experiment with pea plants in his garden. Then 1856 to 1863 was the period of Mendel's hybridization experiment on pea plants. Mendel discovered the principle of heredity. So this is then he has written a paper, experiment on plant hybrid. This is a paper, and which he published the book called The Proceeding of Brunn Society of Natural History in 1866. So what is the name of the paper that Mendel has published? Experiment on Plant Hybrid. What is the name of the book? The Proceeding of Brunn Society of Natural History. Okay, these are the important one words. So up to this, Mendel's biography over. Next, why Mendel was successful in his experiment, experiment. So he applied mathematics statistical method to biology, since he is one of a mathematicians. So he was calculating the plants by statistical method. He applied there to the biology. Therefore, he was successful. He also followed scientific methods and kept accurate, detailed records. So he followed a scientific method, kept accurate, detailed records, since he was the mathematician. So he has noted from the beginning to end of the plant growth. He has recorded everything. So therefore he was successful. Then his experiments were carefully planned and he used large samples. So he has used a number of samples for his experiment, and this is also one of the reason why he was successful. The pair of contrasting character which were controlled by factors or genes were present on a separate chromosome. Okay. So this is another important for the Mendel's success, because the character or the genes which are present on separate chromosome. So pea plants having 7 genes. So each genes are present in separate chromosomes. So this is another important character for the success, Mendel's success. So it will be asked for 3 marks. If it is asked for 3 marks, you write any 3 points. Okay, it is enough for 2 mark also, very very important, as well as 3 mark. The next one, why Mendel has chosen pea plant? Okay, since it is an annual plant and has a clear contrasting character that are controlled by single gene separately. So annual plants means the growth of the plant between 2 to 3 months. Within 3 months, the plant lifespan will be finished. Okay, so that he could be able to observe all the changes in the plants, he could be able to see within a year. He could have large number of samples he can test. So therefore he has chosen Pisum sativum, that is a pea plant, for his experiment. Then the pea plants always self-fertilization occurs under normal condition in garden pea plants. But Mendel used both self-fertilization and cross-fertilization. He did cross-fertilization also. And the flowers are large, hence emasculation and pollinations are very easy for hybridization. So here the word emasculation, I will explain it. I will explain it later. Okay, what is emasculation? The flowers are large, hence emasculation and pollinations are very easy for hybridization. Then Mendel's experiments on pea plants. So what is actually a true breeding lines or pure breeding strains? So these words you will be coming across a number of pages. Okay, so true breeding lines or pure breeding strains means it has undergone continuous self-pollination. Okay, the plant one which undergone continuous self-pollination, it is called pure breeding strains, and it will be having stable trade inheritance from parents to the offspring. Stable traits. If pink flower pollinated pink flower, then it produce always pink flower. If it is produced, if pea plants produce a white flower, pollinated from white flower, then it will produce the white flower, since it is a self pollination. As well as pea plant is bisexual, okay, therefore self pollination continuously happen. So the experimenter, that is Mendel, he has removed the anther of pink flower. So in his experiment, what did he do? So just he removed the anther from the pink flower, so that the pink flower pistil will get pollinated from the white flower. Okay, so the experiment just removed the anther of the pink flower, okay, or purple flower, before pollination has taken place or before fertilization has taken place. So that process is called emasculation. Okay, so removal of anther to encourage the cross pollination, it is called emasculation. Now can you clear what is emasculation? Emasculation means removal of anther from the flower, so that it will helps for cross pollination. It is called emasculation. Okay, so Mendel did cross pollination by just removing the anther of the purple flower, and as a result the white flower pollen grains were transferred into the purple flower, and now fertilization, cross fertilization had taken place. So at the end, all the offsprings were produced purple flower plants. So this is regarding Mendel's experiment on pea plants. So next we will discuss what are the important questions from this. So far we discussed now. So define genetics, what is transmission genetics, define heredity, what is variation, what are the importance of variation, why Mendel selected Pisum sativum for his experiments, what is emasculation, and differentiate between continuous and discontinuous variation. Thank you.